Hello from Portland. This guy's crazy.
Okay.
He's just crazy.
Today is March 26th, which is a special day for us for two reasons. What's the first reason?
It's Susan's birthday.
It is my sister Susan's birthday. She's a wonderful sister and a wonderful mom and a wonderful aunt and a wonderful everything she does. What else is important about today?
It's the first day he met me.
That is true. Today, it was 9 years ago today, Chris and I flew to Guatemala and we met a 3-month-old baby who we were going to call Carter, and that was this baby. That was by far the best day of my life up till then. Unfortunately, it quickly gave way to the worst day of my life because there was
His
a problem.
His fingerprints didn't work out.
My fingerprints.
Curse you, fingers.
We have told this story a lot. To bring a baby into the United States, you have to get approval from the Department of Homeland Security. And we got approval, and I had a form that said, you're approved to bring one baby into the country. But you also have to get a fingerprint check, which I also had. But the fingerprints expire 3 months before the authorization expires. But there's no way to know that. So I had a valid authorization, but invalid fingerprints.
You're a lawyer. What the beat?
So even though I'm a lawyer, I did not know this particular quirk of federal procedure. So we were trying to get our visa to come back into the country, and they said, nope, can't do it. And it took actually about 3 days to even get an answer as to why they wouldn't let us go. The embassy was not being helpful at all, so I had to go back every day. We drove in, and this is while we have our new baby, and we've never had a baby before. So we're staying with Carter at a sort of guest house.
My name is Ronaldo Perez.
Your name at the time was Ronaldo. We changed your name when we adopted you. And then about halfway through the week, again, while Chris and I have, for the first time, we're taking care of a baby, we got food poisoning. Really bad. By far the worst food poisoning I've ever had. Well, there's things in the water in Guatemala that people in Guatemala are used to that we were not used to. So we, I think, got some fruit that had not been washed well enough. It was really delicious fruit, but really not good. And we got really sick, couldn't lift our heads up sick. So we're all just sort of we're sort of sitting in a room with you and taking turns being sick and taking turns taking care of you, and it was just really miserable. And then we were told we would have to leave you in Guatemala to go back to the United States to redo my fingerprints.
3 months.
It was not 3 months. It turned out to be almost exactly a month, but it felt like the longest stretch of time in my life. And it really was. I put this in perspective. It all worked out. You know, we're here 9 years later. As it turned out, it only delayed us. As it turned out, it only delayed us by a month. But at the time, it was just horrible. It was like the worst.
I would be a month older.
You were a month older. You were 3 months old, and then you were 4 months old when we went back to get you. And it was a really difficult time and really painful.
Painful. Ow.
You didn't really know what was going on. So that's what happened 9 years ago today. We met our son, and we began the process of getting him home.
I want to go have ice cream now.
Okay.
Finally.
Anyway.
Careful.
Okay. And with the perspective of 9 years, I can say it was really excruciating to have our baby for such a short period and then have to take him back to the orphanage and put him back in his tiny little crib. But at the same time, there was something very powerful about how bad it felt. Because sometimes when you're an adoptive parent, you don't know how connected you're going to feel. You don't know how strong the bond's going to be. And that week in Guatemala and the pain of leaving Carter behind removed any doubt in my mind that we were connected, and I think made me feel much more deeply and strongly connected to him. So I want to say happy birthday to my sister. Happy birthday, Susan. And I guess, in a way, happy birthday to my family, because this was the day that our family, as we know it, began to come together. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.